And the team that's going to be able to execute in those situations is going to have a lot of success. You know, looking at the stat sheet, a couple of things that, you know, we needed to be better at. We need to be better defensively, and we needed to take care of the basketball. I mean, I think those are the two stats when I look at it that are as glaring as anything, but I don't fault our effort, and obviously we will try and learn from every ball game that we play and continue to get better.
All right, we'll take questions for Coach Carlsen. If you have a question, either send a message in the chat or raise your hand. Okay, Justin, you are unmuted. Go ahead.
Coach, a big point of tonight's game was points off turnovers. Toledo had 23. You guys only had 3. A huge aspect of the game was that. It was the turnovers aspect. What are some of the things that you guys really need to work on going forward? I mean, it looked like you guys handled the ball right, but I didn't realize that there was a wide margin of points off turnovers.
Yeah, I mean, obviously that was the case in the first half as well. And we turned it over in a bunch of different ways. So, you know, that's something we go back and need to watch film and share some things up. You know, Toledo's a really good defensive team. They always are. And that's where they kind of hang their hat. I think obviously you have to give them some credit in the defensive pressure. But I think we're going to be able to look at things that, again, we need to clean up and be better at. We can't give that many possessions away.
My next question, Coach, is I'm sorry. I mean, I'm going to give you guys your defense a little credit. You guys kind of took them out of their element, really. They're not really known as a three-point shooting team. They're more of a drive and kick. You guys shot better than them. I know they got really hot from three, especially Ward. But I think as the season has gone forward, you progressively gotten better on offense and defense throughout the game, in my opinion. I mean, I don't know if you want to talk about your progression throughout even the games, really, throughout the game.
Yeah, I mean, I think my biggest disappointment, especially in the second half, is when you have a player that is so comfortable offensively like Wired was. I didn't think we adjusted very well. Now, she hit some tough shots, no doubt about it. But we have to have better recognition of making her more uncomfortable. Because there for a while, she just kind of took over the game, and we needed to get more stops because we were matching them from a scoring standpoint, but we weren't getting stops to try and take the lead and then build on the lead.
Okay, we have a question from Wes. I guess he just put it in the chat, so I'll go ahead and read it. How was the presence of your contribution from your bench help to change the pace of the game in key spots, specifically Poisson coming in and hitting some key shots?
Yeah, I mean, our bench has been huge for us in the short season already. We feel like we can go 8, 9, 10 deep and have a lot of success. And everybody kind of brings a different element to the court. So, you know, you mentioned Janae. I thought she did a great job for us. You know, Emily gave us good minutes. Aaron obviously gave us good minutes. Riley gave us great minutes. So we're going to continue to be deep and rely on everybody to be the best version of themselves for sure.
Do we have any other questions for Coach Carlsen?
I'll jump in one more. Coach, to golf that, Janae is really, you brought her up with her bench play. In the future, do you see her potentially moving into more of the starting lineup eventually as she seems more and more comfortable on the floor?
I mean, I don't know. We'll see. She's also a great spark off the bench right now. And I think that kind of energy when she comes in, a little bit of instant offense, and obviously her being as vocal as she is a great pick-me-up for everybody on our team. So, you know, regardless of whether someone starts or somebody comes off the bench, my expectation is still going to be the same when they go in the game, and that's to play to their strengths and hopefully within the confines of our team offense and defense. And I think Janae does a great job of that, as well as like I mentioned, the other kids right now that are coming off the bench. So regardless if they're a starter or not, you know, my expectation is, and they have a very clear expectation of what I need them to do when they're on the court.
Justin, are you all set?
I'm good.
All right, looks like that's all the questions we have for you tonight, Lisa. Thanks very much for joining us.
Appreciate it.
Thanks, Coach.
All right, looks like we have been joined by Shelby Coker at this time. So if you have questions for Shelby, again, raise your hand or just write raise hand in the chat and we'll bring you up. Okay, we'll go to Wes from the Northern Star. Wes, go ahead. Oh, you need to unmute yourself there, Wes.
Sorry about that.
Sure.
Shelby, this is back-to-back games that you had posted double digits in scoring. What is it right now that you feel like is going for you specifically in terms of like practice and moving forward as you head into MAC play now?
I'm just doing what we need to do on offense, running what we're supposed to run, and communicating to the other players on the floor about what we're supposed to do. I don't know if that answered your question. I don't know.
Yeah, that works.
Okay, Justin from the Northern Star, go ahead.
Shelby, these last couple of games, you've really, we've talked about your leap from last year to this year. I mean, you led the team in rebounds, you led the team in scoring. Is this something you kind of expected to start the year? Because I know it's kind of that leap you don't really expect to take from freshman to sophomore year.
Over the offseason, I worked really hard to put myself in a position to be where I am now, but obviously there's still things that I need to work on, so I'm not going to feel too good about myself right now.
Shelby, to start MAC play, you guys really, you guys didn't have the greatest game, but you guys played with a really good Toledo game, and you really have transitioned from last year being more of a shooter to more of going to the lane. Toledo's a really good defensive team. What did you see in the lanes and stuff like tonight to be able to get your shot inside?
Obviously they're really good at the ball pressure, and they're giving me a lot of pressure to take away three-point shots. So there are times where I felt like I could get to the lane and either finish or kick out for a team.
Any other questions for Shelby?
I'm good. I don't know about Wes.
Oh, I got one more for Wes. Here we go. Go ahead, Wes.
Shelby, obviously Toledo's had one scorer who put up a good amount of points. What defensively, from the defensive side of the ball, what do you think was the biggest struggle that you guys were seeing on the court?
I think we just got to be tougher and take pride in playing our defense, and that, in order we can score, we have confidence in that, but we need to get stops in order to be ahead of teams, because we can't trade buckets to the end of the game, and then if we happen to miss, now they're up. So we just have to take more pride in getting stops and playing tough defense.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
All right, Shelby, thank you very much. All right, next up, we're gonna have Paulina Castro. So go ahead and let me know in the chat, or if you have questions for Paulina. And we'll go with Justin from the Northern Star. Go ahead, Justin.
Pauline, I'm asking the same question I asked Shelby. You have really, I know you guys, you have, been coming off the bench for a couple years for this team, and now you're more of a ball handler coming off the start the game and stuff like that. You're having a little bit more touches. If you want to talk about your progress from previous years to now, kind of being more responsible for the team and the ball handling aspect of it, if you want to talk about that a little bit.
Kind of just like Shelby said, putting in work in the off season, making sure I took care of my body and got healthy, and then just doing what the team needs me to do, whether that be holding the ball or whatever else they need me to do. But I think I just worked in the off season to put myself in this position.
Okay, we'll go to a question from Wes from the Northern Star. Go ahead, Wes.
Paulina, you had you led the team today in minutes with 32, and you shot 30% from the field. Was it a little bit more difficult the way that they were pressuring and putting a good amount of defensive pressure in order to find consistency from the floor?
I mean, kind of like Shelby and Coach both said, you have to give credit to Toledo's physicality and their defense and their ball pressure. But I mean, at the end of the day, I think it's just we have to get in our rhythm and do what we do and then knock down shots.
Quick follow-up to that. Obviously, I believe you guys will see him again coming up in MAC play. What are you specifically taking from this just initially in terms of whenever you guys are going to see him again?
I mean, I think the main focus right now is our defense. So we'll know that our defense has to be better next game, and then we have to take advantage of their breakdowns on the other end of the court.
Okay. Thank you.
All right. Any last questions for Paulina?
I'm good.
All right. We should be all set. Paulina, thanks very much for joining us.
Thanks.
Thanks, guys. And just a reminder that this has been recorded and will be available later on the NIU Athletics YouTube channel. Thank you and have a great night.